The GameMID Black Panther Edition, created by REP Electronics in Hong Kong. Let's check it out. This box contains another Android device, so I thought it would be nice to just review that. A couple of weeks ago, actually about a month ago, I reviewed a preview version of this device, and this is actually the GameMID Black Panther Edition. It came in this nice little plastic container. Let me wipe the screen because I've been fingerprinting that all over. So here we have the device, and yeah, it's a very nice device, and I want to go over all the details. But let me first show you what it comes with. It comes with a charger. Of course, all nicely wrapped. It comes with a charger, and this is a European style plug, and what it does is that it charges with this little pin, and it's a 5-volt charger and 200 milliamps, 2000 milliamps, and by using this instead of the USB, it charges actually a bit faster. So we have that, and then we have the OTG cable, micro USB to USB host, actually a USB host cable that allows you to plug in extra memory, USB devices, all sorts of things. So yeah, great to have that. And then of course the standard micro USB to USB for connecting it up to the PC to transfer files. So yeah, here we have the device. Oh, I'm holding it upside down. Here we have the device, and I wanted to go over some of the features with you. So let me reposition the camera and show you the features. So here we have the device. As you can see, it's a very nice anthracite gray plastic, and yeah, it has a nice finish over here. It's two aluminum plates that cover plates, and yeah, I think the overall finish of the device is really very nice. So let me go over all the features of this device. It features volume rockers over here, start and select buttons, and these are special game buttons. Over here you have L3 and R3. Not all the devices out there support it. R3 is actually synonymous to enter. Two analog buttons, very nice, smooth analog buttons with a very nice concentric circle print on it, which matches your fingerprint, and it really grips very nicely, in contrast to a lot of other devices that use some sort of little dots or a grid like texture that doesn't really grip as good. So yeah, and then what we have here is a real thumb pad. As you can see, it is just one solid piece of plastic, and it's very easy to hit diagonals that way. And it's a very comfortable thumb pad. I think it's a very nice thumb pad. The travel depth of the keys is actually also very good. A lot of devices, they use buttons that really are not meant for gaming. They don't have the response time because you have a long travel length. This device doesn't. It's like very immediate gaming on that. So that's very cool. On the other side, we have the action buttons that most of us who regularly pick up a game controller know. R3, and of course the analog button. And then we have a front-facing camera. And on top we have the shoulder buttons, and then what we have is a microphone over there, and then we have a USB micro slot, HDMI mini, the jack plug or the plug for the charger, the power button. On this side we don't have any features on the side. On this side we actually have an SDHD memory slot with a nice indentation, so it's actually possible to take out the memory card, put in and take out the memory card without, you know, having to use all sorts of paper clips or whatever. On the bottom there is a phone jack, a headphone jack, which also has a microphone feature, and by using a plug like this you can actually have not only sound but also microphone connected. It doesn't work with iOS devices or the phone jacks used by certain phones. I'll have a list to show here. Yeah, the back. This model actually features a back-facing camera. That is optional. Not all models will have it. It depends on the vendor. And it has these grills. They're actually holes that make, that provide cooling for the device. There's a speaker here, so there's no stereo speakers to the front. There's just a single speaker, but yeah, I like to play with headphones, and the quality of the speaker is actually quite good. So. Yeah, and what else is very nice is that it has these little notches that allow it to sit on the table without the rest of the surface, the back surface, being scratched. So that's actually very nice. Let's turn on the device and let's let it go through its booting process. So here you can see GameMID, enjoy gaming with physical game buttons. And yeah, it boots rather quickly, but we'll have it sit here for a bit. Now, I just really like this animation. It really is a very cool animation. And if you compare this with the prototype, there's some slight differences to the case. So these are the games that I've installed to try out. It's Minecraft PE, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Expendable, Shine Runner, some shooters, some first-person shooters, racing games, adventure games, Epic Citadel, and some utilities. And this game key tester, that's a very nice thing, because it allows you to test the buttons, and as you can see, you can actually see that it makes a full circle. The refresh rate of these drawings is not as good as the readout, but you can actually see how well, particularly two full concentric circles, buttons don't cancel each other out, as you can see. And it's a 5-point touchscreen. Well, I'm curious how I can show you that, like so. So yeah, it's a way to test out the screen. What else is there? Well, there's also a little button over here that allows you to make a screenshot and saves it in the picture directory. And this, the game, the physical key mapping control. There's a lot of games that don't need it. There are some games that do need it. So yeah, these are the emulators that I'm going to show you. Going to try Atari 2600, Game Boy Advance. It comes with a RetroArch emulator installed on this version. Okay, so Soulcraft is a very nice action RPG and also features multiplayer online gameplay. So here I pick up some extras. Continue, play. Okay, let's move to the level I left off. So I skipped the loading here, and this game actually supports the buttons natively. So no use of the mapping tool, but yeah, you can see it plays very smoothly. And both analog sticks have a function. And this game displays the touch controls on the screen, which is a good thing, because then you know the functions of the various keys. So the 4 buttons that you see on the right are actually corresponding with real physical buttons. So yeah, let's get out of there and let's play a little Expendable Rearmed. That also supports the buttons natively. And here I also cut out some of the loading time. So yeah, you can see that the gamepad is recognized by the words Gamepad Connected. And it actually displays how the buttons are mapped. And in this game, the analog knobs really have their advantage, because if you move the analog knob just very slightly, your avatar, your player moves very slowly, and if you move it further, your player starts running. So it really gives you a lot of control, and that is not present in other games. So here you can see me making small steps by just making small movements, and here I'm running again. So yeah, very cool game, a lot of explosions, and this actually works great with headphones. And yeah, I'm going to attach some HDMI grabs as well, because you know, this just let's get out of there, because this really shows here we have a racing game that everybody is familiar with, Shine Rana. Continue game. Also native button control, very simple controls, just steering actually. And you can see it runs really smooth, very, very cool game. Okay, let's start Pew Pew. It's a game that does need the key mapping utility, and I'll show you. Because moving analog sticks won't do anything, but touching the screen will make it move around. And I really have to move the camera because the sun really has come out. And yeah, I was filming this at night and it was too dark, and here you can see. So I really had to redo it in daylight, but let's start the mapping tool. So drag the analog knobs. Sometimes they, yeah, and the right one. So and press save, and you can see how it plays. Now this game may actually benefit from enlarging those knobs, because the ship moves very slowly, and that's because the analog knobs are actually analog. So let's increase the size and position it correctly on top of the analog control. That's key with these analog controls, that you really center them properly. Press save and see how it plays. Well, you can hardly see, but now the ship moves fast in all directions, and it's a clone of Geometry Wars, and it really plays very nice. So you can actually see how easy it is to map a game with physical controls. It remembers each game, and you just have to set save
per game. So that's very nice. And as you can see, it's a variation of Geometry Wars, and I really like this type of game. Before we do some testing and some benchmarking, let's first check out the user manual. Yeah, it comes with standard copyright information. Yeah, this is what's in the box, and this is actually what the unit looks like, and you have a very nice overview, and there's a very nice basic operations guide that shows you how to unlock the screen. Basic Android tutorial actually. It also shows you notifications, how to connect the device up over Wi-Fi, how to connect it to a PC, and how to use the virtual key mapping tool, the VKM software. So that really is a very extensive manual. So this is a look at the technical specifications. So it features a 7-inch TFT LCD display with 124 by 600 pixels in a 16 by 9 aspect ratio. It has 4 gigabytes of flash memory, and that can be expanded with an SD card, but you only have the 4 gigabytes to install programs in. And this is very cool, SDXC 64 gigabytes, so for emulation and images and stuff, it's great. Bluetooth is optional, so yeah, great. Let's do some benchmarking, and then after the benchmarking, I'll put up some HDMI grabbed footage, so you can see what the games actually look like if you connect it up to a HD TV. So yeah, let's go do some comparison and some benchmarking. But before that, let's take a look at the inside of this wonderful device. Yeah, as you can see, we have a 4000 milliamp per hour battery in place, which is securely fastened. Some ribbon cables over here, a heatsink, and let's see if we can zoom in a little. And this is the HDMI Mini, and this is the USB micro. This is the charging jack. So we're viewing the back side of it. This is the rear-facing camera, ribbon cable, and yeah, some components I am not sure about. Oh, this is the headphone jack. So very nice looking device, very nicely designed. Other units actually use masking tape or duct tape, or even painter's tape to secure things in place. And the only tape used here is actually the what is it? The insulating tapes, and this really fastens the ribbon cables over here. So yeah, great looking console from the inside actually. So cool. Okay, so here we have the desktop, and I'll show you about tablets. So it's the GameMID BT model number. It's running Android for version 4.1.1. Let me see. Yeah, there we have it. It's running Jelly Bean. Yeah, it being a 4.1.1 edition is actually quite cool, because that hasn't got many issues with Bluetooth. The 4.2 Android does have a lot of issues with Bluetooth devices. They changed the stack, but that's for another video perhaps. I think it's best to check out things like Geekbench. I've turned off notifications actually, so I'm just going to do the Geekbench too. Okay, so here we have the results. Integer processor, integer performance 619, floating point 1064, memory 910, stream bandwidth, memory bandwidth 349, so it scores 805. Okay, so the Archos Gamepad scores on the Geekbench, it scores 950 points, so the GameMID is slightly lower than that. The increasingly popular JXD S3700B scores 635 points, which makes the GameMID quite a bit faster. And of course the Nexus 7 comes out as a winner with 1446 points. But yeah, it sports an expensive Tegra 3 processor, so yeah, go figure. And here an overview of all the scores. Okay, and let's run 3D Mark. Run Ice Storm. Yeah, I'm just not gonna... It's gonna run, but it's maybe limited because, you know, it needs to swap some of the memory. Yeah, I mean, these devices really come very close to the PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and above that. It's somewhere in between the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 2, I guess. There's devices, of course, that will run this much smoother, but it runs at a very decent frame rate, and this is a very demanding piece of software. Basically, this is a child, or a follow-up to the 3D Mark on the PC that people used to run. What you can actually see is that in the PC world, basically any current PC would struggle running this, and same goes for the Android world. I mean, all systems struggle at least a little bit, but it sure looks great. Of course, I have to put 4 of these units through the paces. On the top left we have the JXD unit that I still have to make a review of, and on the bottom right we have our GameMID Black Panther edition. And now the results. The GameMID scores 1683 points, the Nexus 7 scores 3322 points, the JXD scores 2015 points, and the Archos Gamepad scores very close to the Nexus actually, with 2994 points. And here an overview of all the scores. Okay, so here we have the Antutu or Antutu benchmark, and the GameMID scores 12,157 points. The Archos Gamepad scores 11,552 points, and the Nexus 7 scores 11,986 points, and the JXD scores a mere 6,480 points. Yeah, the thing is, all these benchmarks are of course arbitrary. They're a synthetic way of trying to see how powerful a machine is, and what it really boils down to is actually how the device feels in your hand, how the buttons are, how the gameplay is, how fluid the gameplay is. So I thought it would be a very nice idea to show you what applications I have installed on the device, gameplay wise, and that is a bunch of emulators and also a whole bunch of native Android games. So let's go take a look. Okay, so here we have a number of the games that I wanted to show you guys. Let's first go to Epic Citadel, which is more of a tech demo than that it is a Okay, first I wanted to show you guys Epic Citadel, which is actually more of a tech demo than that it is a game, but it really shows off the capabilities of the tablet fine. Tap to start. What I actually did was use the mapping tool. It supports the native sticks, but if you enlarge the L and the R, it actually makes the game more sensitive. Tap. Okay, so trying to find the way down. Outside of town, because it really looks magnificent. There's even birds flying in the sky. There's banners floating in the air. Ah, here we have the outside. Very nice looking game. And there you have the Citadel. So yeah, let's move on with a game of Grand Theft Auto. A lot of you may actually know this game. Let's move on. Tap to continue. The 10-year anniversary edition. Play. And yeah, as you can see, this looks more like PlayStation 2 graphics than the Epic Citadel graphics that somehow looked halfway in between PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. This probably is just a direct PlayStation 2 port. And here you have the girlfriend that wants to get up in the world. So yeah, let's skip this whole scene and show you a bit of driving. This natively supports the buttons as well, so... Okay, so I just get in the car. Oh yeah, and that's cool to see. If I move the joystick just a tad, it's very little, I just walk. But if I push it back forward more, then I start running. So the analog sticks really are analog sticks. So Y to get in the car, and A to give gas, X to reverse. So yeah, that should work. Whoop. Suddenly there's traffic. Whoa. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not the best at driving. Where should we go? Just get out of the car, get into the car, starts driving. Oh, yeah. Perhaps kill a person on the side. Yeah, so this is Grand Theft Auto. There's this purple dot that shows me where I am. Whoops, mission failed. I guess it I guess it did. Mission failed. Okay, and then Shadowgun. Shadowgun is a cool game that is quite reminiscent of Gears of War, actually. Mind you, I'm having to grab this at 300 kilobytes per second, because my My system is just too slow for it. So the quality of the video may suffer a little. Yeah, this has a great intro with a female android and stuff. I'm gonna skip through that just to show you guys some of the gameplay. Okay, so here we just crash landed our spaceship, and you can see some terrific bump mapping, great use of textures and lighting techniques. So yeah, a very cool looking game. And of course the buttons are supported. You can look up, look down. So basically I have to move to this console. Oh yeah, it's some sort of tutorial, so it shows you a little bit of things to do. Here we have a little terminal, and I'll just show you a little bit of the gameplay just until the first encounter with the aliens. Look at that. Looks very cool. Get some extra ammo. And now you see the Gear of War thingy. You can take cover. You can shoot, take cover again. You can actually and jump the cover. Okay, so let's hit the yellow things. Okay, so reload. Okay, so I guess here we encounter the first aliens. Let's quickly move to look there. And it really looks like a current gen system. Whoops. I shouldn't do that. That's very dangerous. And yeah, I'm actually only having, whoops, 5 health. Let's take cover. Come on. That was quite idiotic. But they're behaving just as idiotic as I am, and this is easy. So yeah, great looking game. And if you play it, I mean, easy is a craptoid version. You should play it more advanced. But yeah, in a higher level, but yeah. Okay. What else? Buggy boy. This is a very simple. This also supports the analog knob natively. Just a simple game of steering. Tap to play. Gorgeous looking island. Play. So. Yeah. As you can say, this plays very well, very smooth. Whoops. I say very smooth, and of course I instantly crash into the side. but that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm not gonna make it. So yeah, what else? Emulators. I think emulators. Atari 2600. Reset. Yeah, I'm just not gonna show you how you set the emulators, but this is Robert Brolia's emulator, so you can actually see how 2600 emulation actually can work on Android. Native button support. Whoops. Okay, moving on to Game Boy Advance emulation. So here we have a great Gradius game. I do have all these games myself. So, and emulation is not illegal in my part of the world, but it may be in yours, so better check. Yeah, what a great Gradius game. Whoops, okay. Moving on to Space Megaforce Super Nintendo emulation, which also runs full speed. And this is a great little shooter. And I'm using the thumb pad here, the D-pad. As you can see, I can make figures of 8 very easily, so yeah, and there's no lag. The system is just very responsive. Very nice gaming system. So basically this is just like playing a SNES with RGB out. Which it doesn't, it only has composite out. So yeah, okay, moving on to Mega Drive. So sorry if I go a bit shmup on you guys, but this is Sega Mega Drive, Danger Seed. And display is very, very nice. So yeah, basically this is just like holding a real controller. I mean, the for me the thumb pad really works very well. Okay, moving on, because this video can't last forever. PC emulation. Sorry for the abundance of shooter games. That's just my favorite genre, so live with it, I say. TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine emulation. As you can see, it works pretty well. Nintendo 64. Yeah, and it's possible to remove these the buttons on the screen, the overlay. They're just there for the because this this emulator also supports native. Yeah, and you can see how good the analog stick works. Just moving it a tad or just moving it completely shows you how. Yeah, I always find it very hard to talk and play games at the same time, so yeah, this works pretty well. What else? MSX emulation. Sure. Let's see how this works. Again, a shooter, of course. I have to stick to the games that I know, that I have. So, as you can see, it works pretty well. So this is MSX. Full speed MSX. The NES will also work. How about that? Crazy shooter. And it even does the sprite flickering. Whoops. Commodore 64 emulation I haven't configured yet. The RetroArch is an emulator that does a lot of different. It's a multi-system emulator, and I'm really a fan of this one. GameMID, I've yet to try this. Game Boy Color, 1942. Again, a shooter. Sorry guys. And it instantly recognizes the gamepad. One player. So I've set this to full screen. Of course, it's also possible to set the screen to 4:3. Okay, perhaps run a different game then. Game Boy Color. Adventure Island. That's not a shooter. That's just a simple platform game. Okay, so here we have Game Boy emulation. What else? Oh, Genesis does work. There's a bit of redundancy, but PlayStation, of course. PlayStation is getting very interesting. Let's do Gran Turismo 1. Because this system is capable of full-speed PlayStation emulators, and there's no less than 3 emulators out there, even more, but 3 more of the well-known. So let's go for Mazda, and just a simple ring, high-speed ring. And this is very cool because it also does the weird dithering that the original PlayStation 1 also does. Let's change the view. The analog sticks have yet to be implemented in RetroArch for this device, but I believe the author is actually working on that, so it's just a matter of time before they will work as well, work too. So, but yeah, I guess this is actually running full speed. Okay, let's move on to the other specialized PlayStation emulator, and that's FPSE. And Let's see if we can run something very nice here. Ridge Eraser Revolution. Not sure if that works. It may actually not. Quit game. Load game. Gran Turismo 2. So this is FPSE running Gran Turismo. All these emulators, they have options to set the hardware to OpenGL and software mode and what have you. Yeah, not sure. I don't think. See if that works. This emulator has a tendency to forget the mappings, so you have to redo them, and I don't like that. I will know soon enough whether or not it remembered. Yeah, it did.
Welcome to the Real Race Roads 99 Grand Prix.
So this is also running, I do believe it's running a software mode. I have to press start. All these hierarchical menus on these racing games, they really drive me insane. Okay, finally get to racing, I guess. Yes, start.
Racing Routes 99 in
It's actually OpenGL that is used.
3, 2, 1, go! Here we go! It's
But I don't think it's full speed. But it looks good. Maybe full speed, I'm not sure. You can always tell by the sound, by listening to the sound. So yeah, let me see. Settings, video. So yeah, you see that running these emulators is far from an easy task. Yeah, so let's go to the faster mode software. Okay, save configuration as default. Load BIOS. That may actually work. Settings, MISC, save configure default. Okay, so let's try it again, and this time with which racer type 4, and this time with the open, not the OpenGL, but the software rendering. So detect the gamepad. We have to wade through all these menus yet again. As you can see, the screen is a bit more coarse. But you can only really see in the screens where the polygons are used, because this game uses an awful lot of bitmap mode graphics. Yeah, I'm just pressing start all the time. I do that on the real thing as well. Just the moment it's ready for me to receive a press start. Yeah, come on. Start. 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 Helter Skelter.
Real Racing Roots 99 in Helter Skelter.
So I guess this emulator actually, it runs better in the software mode. It's a bit faster. Oops. Okay, and let's try the other EPSXE, the GUI. I want to run a game. And let's see what game I want to run. Oh, this is taking a while. Ah, there we have it. So, very nice. Why not Tekken 3? New game. And this emulator is actually the most perfect one next to the RetroArch, I think, because it really is full speed. Oh yeah, and there's some issues if you select OpenGL. Not all the layers are emulated properly, but if you use software mode, then you don't have those errors. This is using OpenGL and very fast too. Actually makes the game look better than ever before. Makes it look better than a PlayStation 3 is capable of producing, because
This really enhances the resolution, and that's why there's some graphical errors. So yeah, now to finish it off, some MAME. There's two versions of MAME. This is running on ARM-based code, ARM-based assembly code. So this is running pretty fast. I actually have this game for the Neo Geo CD. So I thought, well, I could give it a try over here as well. Yeah, it's possible to get rid of the overlay buttons, but I chose not to for the purposes of demonstration. But this runs pretty much full speed. The other MAME has C
cores. That means a lot of the CPU cores aren't written in assembly, but they're written in oh yeah, danger seed, why not? They are written in C. So basically it's a bit slower than assembly. And we'll find out how well the system runs. 16-bit games probably are the max that you can reach in this. You're better off running 8-bit games, but yeah, we'll just see. This game I ran on the Mega Drive too. This runs better in the other version of MAME, but it just shows you how it runs. This MAME, yeah, I'm not sure why you would use it. Probably if you want to use games and drivers that aren't in the other MAME, but they're a bit slower. So yeah, I think this concludes the game. Let me see, Samurai Tiger. I have yet to try that. The Warrior Sage, start. Curious whether or not I should map the buttons, but how to play? No, just press play. Loading level. It's actually the first time I tried this. Oh, and the buttons are mapped. The other buttons are not mapped, so I should probably use the mapping tool then. So let's do the mapping tool. The analog stick we move over here. Yeah, sometimes it just, and then we enlarge it a bit, and we, yeah. The other buttons. A for that one, X for that one, and the rest is not mapped yet, so press save, it'll be ready. So I have both of the, okay, so you can see that it's very easy to map the buttons, and if you need another button, you just go to the map tool and you say, well, I haven't used Y yet, so, and then save, and you just continue on with playing the game. So that's a cool thing, you know. If you missed out on a button, you just yeah, you just add a button, or you remove a button. If you go back and you say reset, and you can do it all over again. So you say like so, A, you know, X, and you can go all crazy. R2, save. So you probably have mapped all the buttons now. But yeah, this is how it works, and I'm pretty stoked with it. And yeah, just show you some clips of the game. Validation. Loading version, loading. Yeah, the official video has long finished, so this is just extra. This is fodder. Yeah, you saw that signing in with Google. This actually has Google's achievements and all sorts of multiplayer online stuff. I mean, Google really is trying to go for that as well. A lot of the games support upgrade. Do I have money? Yes, I have some money. buy another. I just want. Oh, let's buy another health potion. So this is basically a tutorial. Shop. Buy. It shows you how to do things. Skills. Back. Okay. Play. Boss rush. Floor start. So this does have native button support. Okay, so this is one of I guess I have to just destroy all these bosses. And as I have very little skill yet, this probably is in vain. So yeah, okay. This was Mark, and I'm going to be playing a lot more Android games. Perhaps even make videos out of them. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the review, and if you have any questions, well, I can try to answer them. Mark signing off, and I'll be back with another video soon.